Hello, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Danova Sukari. I'm a lecturer at the Department of Geological Engineering of the University of Mines and Technology, Accra, Ghana. I'm presenting on GIS-based mapping and multivariate statistical assessment of the quality of groundwater for drinking and irrigation purposes in the Bono East Region, Ghana. So, the aim of this study is actually to determine the quality of groundwater in the Bono East region for drinking and irrigation purposes using hydrogeochemistry, GIS-based mapping, and multivariate statistical approaches. The objectives are specifically, number one, to determine the hydrogeochemical characteristics of groundwater in the area. Number two, to delineate areas with higher concentrations of the hydrogeochemical parameters. And the third objective is to determine the quality of the groundwater for drinking and irrigation purposes. So looking at the hydrogeochemical characteristics and sources of the ions in the water, we realize that the dominant cation is sodium because it has a longer whisker above its median. And then if you check here, chloride is the dominant anion with a longer whisker above the median. This suggests that these ions might be coming from the geology of the area, which is dominated by silicate-bearing minerals. And then there is also ion exchange reaction that might be accounting for the dominance of chloride in the water and saltwater intrusion as well from previous studies. Now, in order to know the dominant factors that are controlling the chemistry of the water, Gibbs diagrams were plotted. And in both diagrams, we can see that the dominant process is rock weathering, because most of the samples are plotted within the rock weathering terrain, meaning water-rock interaction is accounting for the dominance of, the change in the chemistry of the water. Now, using the multivariate statistical approaches, especially factor analysis, 4 components were extracted and component 1 loaded on these ions. And these ions are actually suggesting that, geogenic processes or geogenic activities are contributing to the chemistry of the water, like ion exchange reaction, mineral dissolution. Then that for factor 2, then you check factor 3 is bicarbonate and pH, meaning carbonate dissolution. And for nitrate and temperature in factor 4, this is unique. This shows input from anthropogenic activities like the use of fertilizers, such as nitrate in the area. Now, using the GIS-based approach in order to map the hydrochemical parameters in the area, we can see that the TDS, the highest values are within the southern terrain. Then for sodium, the highest values are also within the southern terrain. Then when you come to the assessment of the water for irrigation purposes, we use magnesium ratio, sodium percent, and sodium absorption ratio. The magnesium ratio values suggest that the highest values are within the eastern terrain. Then for the sodium percent, within the southern towards the west and also in the east and some parts of the north. And for the sodium absorption ratio, we can also find the higher values just within the eastern terrain. Thank you so much for listening.